the second round of the Global Wrestling Federation Light Heavyweight Championship. The Lightning Kid making a unique entrance. He goes against the popular Chaz. The Lightning Kid with the bolts cut into the hair. Brash youngster.
Oh, did you get a load of that? Put his hand out for Chaz to shake his hand, did the Lightning Kid. When Chaz extended his hand, Kid just slowly rubbed his sideburns and his hair up over his ears and just kind of smirked and walked off. That's arrogance right there.
Some people would call that a sight. The second round is underway. Chaz trying to go behind and gets it. Back to the go behind. The Lightning Kid takes him down. Has the advantage, but Chaz sneaks out and the Kid perplexed.
Two men who have similar builds in there, Chaz and the Lightning Kid. Chaz probably just a little bit bigger, wouldn't you think, Craig? He's maybe got him by just a couple of pounds, not many. Good even matchup here. First match in the second round of the light heavyweight tournament. Chaz arriving here with a victory over the psychotic Ed Robinson, and that's not me making a value judgment. That's what he called himself, but he's out. Chaz is in. Lightning Kid defeated Bubba Fangman to get into the second round.
It looked like Chaz had the advantage there. The Kid got it back, but Chaz has it now. And the Lightning Kid prevents the ride by going to the rope. The winner of this match will take on the winner of the match between Hustler Rip Rogers and the Handsome Stranger.
That'll be a great contest. That's coming up later. Right now, the Lightning Kid from Tampa, Florida, most recently from the Professional Wrestling of America, up in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And hello to all of our good friends up in Minneapolis, as well as all across the United States of America. Here on Supercard as our tournament enters the second round.
Now, the Kid looked like he was down and he had the old kip up to come right back up to his feet. And the Lightning Kid apparently wants to ponder the situation a bit.
Oh, boy.
Wants to adjust those karate boots. I tell you, the arrogance personified by the Lightning Kid, as opposed to the out-and-out niceness of Chaz most of the time, really makes this your battle of two different poles of the wrestling universe.
And we talk about the Kid's attitude, but I'll say this for the Kid, for the Lightning Kid. He was trained by Boris Malenko and Carl Gotch. They don't come any tougher than those two, who could probably get into the ring today, could Malenko and Gotch, and probably take anybody in the Global Wrestling Federation, or at least give them a run for their money. And so the Kid has learned from the best, but where did he get that attitude? What a move!
Right, hip toss. Chaz gets the hip toss, follows it with a drop kick. The Lightning Kid may be in trouble here. Chaz. Bulldog right down, and the Lightning Kid may think that the storm has passed. Chaz with a forearm sends the Kid into the ropes. The Lightning Kid, the Russian leg sweep. The Lightning Kid versed in wrestling as well as many of the martial arts. Sends Chaz to the outside. James Beard warns him to go away. The Lightning Kid goes up and, oh! Incredible! The Lightning Kid with a front flip landing right on top of Chaz.
That's about as dangerous a move as I think I've seen here in the Global Dome, Craig. The Lightning Kid taking virtually his career in his own hands just to add some more punishment to Chaz. Unbelievable move.
Well, Chaz, I guarantee you, has never seen anything like that. As the Kid goes to that drop kick in the corner. Double the power because the impact comes from both sides.
Nowhere to go for Chaz as Lightning Kid just puts that drop kick right square to the jaw as Chaz is hemmed up in the corner.
The Lightning Kid who is versed in what they call the UWF-style wrestling in Japan, a lot of submission maneuvers and high-flying tactics, using a lot of them here now, just trying to wear down his opponent from Los Angeles, California. But Chaz doesn't really want to be worn down here. Not much choice when you get a knee to the midsection like that.
You talk about the UWF in Japan and the submission moves, and that's exactly what it is. Pinfall's not, oh boy, the Northern Light suplex didn't do it. A move used almost exclusively by Jushin Liger in Japan. Now the Lightning Kid showing us a Northern Light suplex didn't work, and here's Chaz.
An American cross body block takes Chaz down. Or takes the Lightning Kid down. I was rather surprised because it looked like Chaz may have taken the worst of things, but right back is the Lightning Kid to have control, adding a twist to the neck with the assistance of the hair of Chaz. We're going to take a break. Don't you go away. More of this great matchup when we return. The Lightning Kid has had the rear chin lock wearing down Chaz for more than 90 seconds now. And Chaz has been trying to get out of it. But as lanky as the Lightning Kid is, he kept it on until he realized a trip to the dentist may be in order. The Lightning Kid upset. The savate kick. The jumping savate kick connects 2 times. The Lightning Kid now with the suplex over top. Count of 1, count of 2 by James Beard.
Lightning Kid arguing the count there with referee James Beard. What is wrong with that count? It looked like a good, solid count from the referee. Lightning Kid just looking for something to argue about.
The Lightning Kid with the kicks. Rapid fire now.
Right to the head.
3 to the temple. Misses that time and comes down on the back of his neck. As he tried that drop kick in the corner, the Lightning Kid comes down on the back of the neck. Chaz with the open door here.
Oh, got the door kicked shut by the Lightning Kid. Kid moving in now for the kill. Chaz in a bad way, and look at Kid. That chest of Chaz, a little bit too much of a brick wall for Kid to chop on too much, and Chaz fights out of the corner.
There's only so much that Chaz will take. Evident there. The Kid goes up to the air and comes down. Chaz picks up the Kid, puts him down, locks him up, but only a count of 2 by James Beard. You don't see the Lightning Kid arguing the rapidity of that count, did you?
Well, if he's going to be consistent, he certainly should, Craig. But we know better than that.
The Lightning Kid with a reversal. Chaz with a cross body block. He may have him. Count of 1, count of 2.
Oh, great move by Chaz. Good anticipation on the part of the youngster from Los Angeles, California. But Lightning Kid kicks out at 2.
Chaz sends the Lightning Kid into the corner.
Oh.
He comes out with that spinning leg lariat. Catching him right across the throat. The Lightning Kid, dragonfly suplex, the belly to back. Count of 1, count of 2, and he pulls Chaz up just before the count of 3 and will not complain to James Beard on this occasion, apparently because punishment in order, courtesy of the Lightning Kid to Chaz.
The Lightning Kid better watch it here.
Count of 1, count of 2. That is at least the 7th near fall we have had in this match. The Lightning Kid in control after dropping the leg to the back of the neck.
And the Lightning Kid better remember something here, Craig. This is a tournament. He better not be worried about the punishment he inflicts on Chaz. He's got to win the match or he's out of the tournament.
That spinning kick may put him on his way. Picks him up. This is called the lightning strike. Right down. severe thunderstorm warning is over.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the match, the Lightning Kid!
Well, here comes Joe Pedicino and Bonnie Blackstone when we return.
The most mysterious organization in professional wrestling, the Cartel. Hello, everyone. I'm Joe Pedicino here in the newsroom, backstage at the Global Dome, and the Cartel is on everybody's lips in the world of professional wrestling. What is it? Who is it? And most importantly, who is behind it? Rip Rogers and Muckin Singh say they will be introducing a new member to the Cartel, but they keep talking about the boss. They keep talking about the boss says this, the boss says that. Who is the boss? Nobody is saying. Hopefully, we will find out in the near future just who is behind the Cartel. And speaking of who, the question is, who will be the new partner for Stan Lane? I have heard that Jim Cornette is looking for a new partner for Stan Lane so that they can enter the GWF Tag Team Tournament. And I will tell you this, whoever it is, Cornette says it will be a major surprise. He says it's a test to see if this new partner can live up to the standards of Jim Cornette and Stan Lane. If you ask me, it's can he live down to the standards of one Jim Cornette. In a ceremony held this week in Washington, D.C., WWF champion Hulk Hogan was named one of the presidents of the Special Olympics. We want to congratulate Hulk Hogan for this tremendous move, and I'm sure he will do well with the Special Olympics. Folks, over 100,000 pieces of mail have come to the U.S. offices of the GWF in Atlanta, Georgia, about the handsome stranger. Women from all over the world are writing wanting to know who this gentleman is. One lady from Palm Springs even offered $100,000 to find out if she could get a picture of the handsome stranger without his mask. The stranger says no, money is not what will get that mask off. Folks, he says, and this is a quote, "That is something I'm saving for my wedding night." I'm sure we will be hearing more from the handsome stranger. I'll be back next time on the GWF here in the newsroom. Till then, I'm Joe Pedicino.
In the Global Dome, Bonnie Blackstone here, interviewing one of our great GWF fans. This is Kay. Kay, let me start out by congratulating you. Earlier, you were greeted and received by the handsome stranger of the Global Wrestling Federation. He came down, he handed you a mask and a rose. You had a question for the handsome stranger.
Yes, why does he wear a mask?
All right, later on in this edition, I will be talking with the handsome stranger, and I'm going to ask Kay's question. Why do you wear that mask?
Suave, debonair, from Monte Carlo, the handsome stranger makes his way to the ring. Mystery has never been so interesting, at least to the ladies at ringside.
They love the stranger here at the Global Dome. Get a load of this.
The ladies just love him.
I think I need to put on some sort of seminar or something. I could use these kind of moves. Of course, I can use that body, too, probably like #1 priority.
The handsome stranger, one last rose, a hug.
Oh, boy.
Maybe we'll finally get to see who this man is. I'm sure he's not going to wrestle in a rhinestone mask.
No way. And he's in there against the Hustler. Rogers would use that as a weapon if he took the... Oh, there we are.
We should have known better. But the ladies could only hope. Oh, nothing hopeful about that.
Well, I know.
Maybe hopeless.
There's the good luck at the man from Monte Carlo, the handsome stranger.
And that's the man from Seymour, Indiana. Doesn't quite have the same ring to it.
Which is not anything like Monte Carlo. Of course, our fans in Seymour are very important to us, and we like Seymour a lot. This is Rip Rogers, well. Oh, boy.
Let this speak for itself. The reactions to that man are like those of Elvis and the Beatles back in the 60s.
Very good analogy.
The Handsome Stranger against Hustler Rip Rogers. Now, we learned in round number 1 when the Handsome Stranger had to take on that dog of war, Butch Blackheart.
Oh, let's not get personal.
Well, that's what he calls himself, that the Stranger can definitely wrestle. He will have a big test here against Hustler Rip Rogers, the light heavyweight representative of something known as the Cartel.
Absolutely right there, Craig. The Cartel putting Rip Rogers into the light heavyweight tournament. Obviously, the other member of the Cartel that we know about, Mukun Singh, certainly can't meet the 237 weight limit, but we don't know. Maybe somebody else in the light heavyweight tournament is also a member of the Cartel, and we just don't know about it yet.
The collar and elbow tie turned into the spinning of the arm by Rip Rogers. The Stranger can do this too. This time he adds the leg scissors with those powerful thigh muscles, putting punishment on the biceps of Hustler Rip Rogers. Rogers, who claims to be the most fit man in wrestling. Well, ask the ladies at ringside who they seem to think the most fit man in this match is.
Well,
I don't think many people would say Hustler Rip Rogers.
Rip Rogers throws the best fit in wrestling. I don't know about being the most fit man in wrestling.
Throwing a fit here, definitely claiming a pull of that naturally blonde hair. At least that's what he claims.
Well, the Handsome Stranger obviously spends a lot of time in the gyms of Monte Carlo. Well-proportioned individual.
Chops by Hustler Rip Rogers, trying to punish the Handsome Stranger. Sends him into the turnbuckle. The Stranger's lower back going into the middle turnbuckle. Reversal by the Stranger.
Oh.
There's a chop. I wonder if he leaves the mark on the chest of the Handsome Stranger with those chops.
Maybe in the shape of a Z or something like that.
Another romanticist, count of 1. Maybe 1.5, and Hustler Rip Rogers wondering what every lady in the Global Dome is wondering. Who is this man?
There's a good look at the Handsome Stranger, and now at Rip Rogers, the Hustler. As the second round of the light heavyweight tournament continues.
The winner of this match will take on the Lightning Kid. Right now, the Handsome Stranger punishing Rip Rogers.
And Rip Rogers being wrenched away now at the Handsome Stranger, and Rogers fights back. Stranger better watch himself, because the one thing Rogers has here is experience. For all of the great looks and the great body and the fan support that the Handsome Stranger enjoys, he does not have the experience that the Hustler Rip Rogers has, Craig.
Well, Hustler Rip Rogers having the advantage as the Handsome Stranger is sent into the corner and making his way down to ringside. No light heavyweight action in the ring here. But I don't know if our cameraman can pick this up, but Rasta the Voodoo Man has made an appearance at ringside. There he is. Now that man is definitely not a light heavyweight, but he's interested in the competition here in the Global Wrestling Federation.
Well, his presence at ringside in this match has got to distract both men. He may be a member of the Cartel that we don't know about, Craig. Then again, he may be the best friend the Handsome Stranger has. I tend to doubt that very seriously. Either way, it's a distraction for both of these men who need to concentrate on their tournament.
The Hustler with a suplex. Executed, as he says, only he can do. Sean O'Brien down there gets the count of 2. And the Handsome Stranger able to get out of the pinning predicament. Rogers ready for another suplex. No, tried to bring him down for a gourd buster, but it was blocked by the Stranger, who answers with a suplex of his own. The handsome stranger gets the cover, locks the leg, but apparently not well enough.
And as all of this action takes place in the ring, Craig, Rasta the Voodoo Man still at ringside. Whoa, what a chop.
He looks on intently. The stranger sent into the ropes, nailed with a clothesline. Count of 1, count of 2, but that will do it. As the stranger unable to avoid the barrage right here of the Hustler. Maybe so. Now he goes to work on the Hustler.
Was that 9 or 10? 9 or 10 of them. Right along. I lost count in there. 9 or 10 of them right into the top turnbuckle from the handsome stranger. Rogers, using that experience, fights back.
Rasta the Voodoo Man escorted away very quickly, while the handsome stranger, trying to get his wits about him, has him up for the suplex, locks it in. 1, 2, 3. The handsome stranger gets the count of 3 and gets the victory.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the match, the handsome stranger.
It'll be the stranger against the Lightning Kid in the semifinals. But up next, we will hear from the Cartel when we return.
All right, we have asked time after time after time who is the boss and who the new member of the Cartel is. And I have been receiving messages from all around the world demanding to know who the new member of the Cartel will be. And now you tell me you're finally ready to tell us who the new member will be.
You know what I'm trying to figure out? Is your name Joe Parrot or Joe Pedicino? You're like a parrot. You keep asking the same thing over and over and over and over.
Well, it would be nice to get an answer.
You really want to know?
Yes.
You want to know?
Yeah.
You think it's time? You think it's time? You want to tell him? I think
the newest member of the Cartel.
No. Wait. I don't know if we should tell Pedicino. He got a big mouth, boy. He'll be worldwide. He's the greatest wrestler in the world. Well, next to you and I, Rip. No. Look.
Are you going to tell us or not?
Let's tell him. You tell him. You tell him.
I tell you what I'm going to do, Joe. For you, for one time and one time. No, let's get it. No, forget him.
But if we'll pay them some money, they'll tell us who the new member is.
I don't have to tell you, I'm here with the handsome stranger in the Global Wrestling Federation, somebody that all the ladies are going gaga over these days. Earlier, during an interview segment, stranger, I was with a very nice lady, someone that you left a token of your appreciation with as you made your entrance into the square circles of the GWF. She asked a question of you, and that is, why do you wear a mask?
Why do I wear a mask? She asked me, why do I wear a mask? And the answer to that, Bonnie, is mystery is the greatest part of romance. That's why I give all my ladies roses. Not an autograph, a rose to always remember me by. That's why I wear a mask.
All the ladies here in the GWF are certainly thrilled to see this young man make his way into the squared circle ring wars, be expecting some very big things from this handsome one known as the handsome stranger in the Global Wrestling Federation.
Mike Davis, an intimidating voice that Mike Davis has. Every time we interview Mike Davis, what he says certainly is intimidating enough to us, Craig. That voice, that kind of evilness that just exudes from the man when he speaks to us, very intimidating.
Brian Adias shed the ring robe, and it looked like Davis was going to Pearl Harbor him from behind, but Adias able to turn around and double check to make sure. Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
No handshakes there.
Not a lot of them. Wonder what day you learned that in wrestling school.
The winner of this match will take on the winner of the match between Steve Simpson and exotic Adrian Street.
What a great match that one will be.
Diaz backs Davis into the ropes, and Davis a little bit upset. There's a stare down for you, and I think he said, if you have a problem with me, plant one right here. I'll show you what a problem can be.
That'll do it. Second round action. The light heavyweight tournament. The Global Wrestling Federation here on Supercard. Brian Adias enters the second round after a victory over El Bandolero. Mike Davis defeated Victor Gonzalez in the first round.
Shoulder block sends Davis down. Diaz ducks under the clothesline and comes back with one of his own. Davis hopping, I guess you could say, back into the corner.
Let's go, guys. 1, 2.
Mike Davis wanting to take a vacation, claiming that the closed fists of Brian Adias were used. Adias saying, no, referee Rick Manning, those were chops.
I don't need you cheering for me. Shut up.
Neither man has been able to gain an advantage thus far, but now it's Brian Adias with a side headlock. Now spinning it around into the hammerlock. Reversal on the duck under by Mike Davis, but nice leg trip by Brian Adias back into that side headlock. Now has him firmly on the canvas.
We've talked before about how Mike Davis is an accomplished tag team wrestler. But he doesn't have the luxury of having a partner to tag off to here. If things start heading south for him in this match against Brian Adias, Davis has to fend for himself. There's no partner. Something to look for here. Maybe Davis, thinking he has a partner, going to have to be extra careful not to put himself in a predicament where he would need to tag out.
Now, while we have seen on this edition of Supercard light heavyweights that fly, these happen to be two light heavyweights that are more on the brawling side. Very quick individuals, as you can see, the quick thinking there by Brian Adias. Was there a pull of the hair there? Brian Adias seems to think so, as Mike Davis gains the advantage with the leg scissors.
And the referee asked Mike Davis like he expects an honest answer out of the guy. I don't think so.
Come on, boy.
Of course, Davis said no hair pulling at all.
Davis has the leg scissors powered out of. Now, that time I did see the handful of hair.
The referee's going to ask Davis, and Davis denies it again. You know, if Mike Davis put a picture of his teeth on a milk carton somewhere, the ones that are missing, he may find them later on.
Well, Adias trying to keep his senses from being missing. Powers out once again. And this time, they pull the hair in a different way. The kick to the midsection as Adias goes across the ring to catch up to Davis. Davis with some catching up of his own. Oh, my.
And you could see right there, Brian Adias did not know that was coming, had no idea that Davis was sneaking up from behind to plant him firmly into the turnbuckle as he does a third time here.
Davis with the garden variety chokehold there. The boot to the midsection as he tried to take the wind first from the throat, then from the midsection. And now Adias trying to do the same with a series of chops and kicks. Mike Davis going after the vision now, Brian Adias. And apparently it worked as Adias flails away. Manning checks the hair pull while Davis takes advantage of the distraction. Adias doing anything he can to get away from the barrage of Mike Davis. Unable to. Davis keeping the choke going. Rick Manning finally able to break the chokehold with the use of the ropes. Adias saw Davis coming in, got the feet up. And now he's ready to go.
Can't say enough here about these two men going at it in the light heavyweight tournament, Craig. Those have already fought grueling matches in this tournament. Now the second round, things get tougher and tougher as the Diaz gets the 2 count on Davis.
The second round about to be over for Mike Davis, as Davis goes after the thigh muscle, chops it, and I think he might have even tried to go after the hamstring there. Now trying to take the wind out of Brian Diaz with a shoulder block. Diaz precariously perched. And now shoved off by Mike Davis.
Over the last few weeks here on Supercard, Craig, we've seen the Global Wrestling Federation television tournament, which ended really, really well, I would say, for our side, being the Patriot now, the Global Wrestling Federation television champion. Going to be the same thing here in the light heavyweight tournament. 3 men will enter the final round. There will be a toss of the coin, with the winner of the coin toss receiving a bye into the actual finals. The other 2 men will wrestle each other to determine who wrestles the man who received the bye.
This is a European-style tournament. Thus, you have 3 finalists instead of 2. Both of these men would like nothing better than to be in that final round. Right now, it looks like Mike Davis may be well on his way if Brian Diaz can't mount the comeback. Diaz, well-versed in track at the University of Texas at Arlington, runs a lap around the ring, trying to get out of that predicament, and Manning didn't see, was that a count of 3 or not? Yes, a count of 3. Diaz says that Davis was holding on to the rope. And Brian Diaz is very upset. Mike Davis, the winner. He will go on to the semifinals. Back on Supercard with the exotic Adrian Street. Probably one of the more entertaining interviews we'll have. Scott Hudson will handle it.
Absolutely, Craig. Thank you very much. Adrian Street in the European area, where you are world famous. Well, famous in the European area, very popular over there. The cutoff limit for the light heavyweight division is 214 pounds. Here in the GWF, it's 237 pounds. You're going up against much bigger competition. Is that a hindrance or a help to you that you're used to wrestling at the lighter weight?
Well, a lot of people have asked me if they thought I could survive with these heavy guys. Well, as you know, if they hadn't put the weight up in the States, in the United States section of the global wrestling, I would be the light heavyweight champion, because I won the light heavyweight championship under 214 pounds in Lusaka, Zambia, and held the title. I've never lost it. But the reason that they've had this tournament is because they're putting the weight up higher, because you've got some big guys up here. But let me ask you a question. You asked me how I thought I could survive with some of these giants that you've got in the States. As far as the light heavyweight division is concerned, if some of these guys had to come down to less than 214 pounds, which I was, how would they survive with me?
That's a very good question from the exotic Adrian Street. I don't know if they could survive or not. This man, a very storied career at the lighter weights. You're a success, and I wish you all the success in the world in this tournament, Adrian.
Well, thank you very much.
That's exotic Adrian Street coming up next time here on Supercard.
Imagine what I could do to you.
That, too. We'll have more in the light heavyweight championship tournament as the second round moves on. Plus, we'll have a lot of great things from Joe Pedicino with his news, and Bonnie Blackstone with the fans' question and answer. For Scott Hudson, Joe Pedicino, Bonnie Blackstone, and, of course, exotic Adrian Street, I'm Craig Johnson. We'll see you next time right here on Supercard. Forward to is, in terms of styles, the African style of Steve Simpson against the European style of exotic Adrian Street. We mentioned that Street already the world champion in the light heavyweight division, but we're talking about 214 and under, that recognized in Europe.
That's exactly right. Adrian Street, an accomplished light heavyweight wrestler, and this is the light heavyweight tournament. Steve Simpson, of course, the light heavyweight champion in his native South Africa. Great to see him back in the United States and in North America as part of the Global Wrestling Federation. Once again,